Hi, I'm Andy Vasily, and this is the TKS Magnified series, episode 1. That's an interesting question because when I first came to TKS 7 years ago, I was a pedagogical coordinator in elementary school, and I've switched over to teaching physical education full-time at GES. Thinking back, that would be 2015, I'm pretty sure. An interesting question. What brought me to Coast was an opportunity to be a coach for teachers. And prior to coming to Coast, I had been consulting and running workshops and training teachers around the world. And then the opportunity came up to come here to Coast and to be in the position of coaching teachers, something I was very passionate about. And when that opportunity presented itself, I jumped all over it and told my family, we're going to Saudi Arabia to Coast. They were very supportive. We were in China at the time. We had lived in China for 5 years, and we had lived in 3 other countries before that. So my boys, one graduated last year, one's in DP now. They were open and receptive to a new experience. So they were very excited, and my wife came here to teach, so she was very excited as well. I think that begins with teachers creating a learning environment that allows every student to find their own entry point to learning. And that's really critical to me in the work that I do. It's about differentiating instruction so that every student feels that they have access to learning in ways that will empower them to be their best. So courageously bold to me means students feel psychologically safe to take the risks needed to learn in their own ways that matter to them. So it really begins with the teacher to create the conditions for students to be courageously bold. I think it begins with Professor Guy Claxton, a well-known educational researcher from the UK. His whole career can be filtered down to the idea of exploration before explanation. So creating the conditions for students to explore what's possible in their learning and not put pressure on them to have the answers right away, but to explore, to find an entry point into their own learning, to be able to ultimately explain or demonstrate or show knowledge of. To allow them multiple ways to express their learning in ways that matter to them. So especially when it comes to creativity and imagination. So breaking the mold and moving away from one style assessment to allowing students multiple ways to show what they've learned, what they're proud of, and what they have to do better. Again, looking through the lens of curiosity, we are open to more than one way to do things. So investigating solutions is about looking at all options that are available to us and then staying open-minded to that, not shutting anything out, but then ultimately pursuing one solution that might best fit the problem we've encountered or what we're trying to figure out. Well, I have a lot of gratitude for this because this has been a passion project of mine for the past 10 years. I started it up many years ago, and during this time I've been able to interview Olympians and best-selling authors and top researchers, and I've learned so much. It's 226 episodes so far, and I'm still going strong with it, and it can be found on all major podcast players. Makes me better. It makes me a better educator. It makes me a better leader. I'm interviewing leaders constantly, best-selling authors around this concept of leadership. So it really makes me better as a leader, and it makes me better as an educator so that I'm consistently learning and I'm challenging myself to apply that learning whenever possible with my students in new and innovative ways. So I think that really ties into our mission here at TKS. I would absolutely write about the wisdom of alignment. And what that means to me is that as educators and leaders, we have to stay connected to our true core values. And we have to be able to know with certainty what it is we believe in, what our core values are, how our core values connect to a school's mission statement and core values, and to ensure that we reflect on our thoughts, words, and actions, and make sure that our thoughts, words, and actions are always a navigating kind of a North Star that we reflect on and make adjustments. And we might make mistakes, but we are always pulled back to our core values and aligning our thoughts, words, and actions. Hence the title, Wisdom of Alignment. I wish you would ask me what's one thing nobody knows about me. That I was a child youth worker. I wanted to be a police officer in my home city. I was a child youth worker working with kids with emotional and behavior difficulties. And the home that I was working in shut down. And I came up with an idea to raise money for the organization. So what people don't know is that I walked 14 days straight, passing an American football and kicking an American football 400 kilometers to raise money for a group home. And we ended up raising $70,000.